Okay guys, I want to show you all one more example. Now in this example, what you're going to have are multiple of one type of atom or one type of element bonding with another. Okay, so what will happen is that sometimes the metal atom, one single metal atom, cannot give the non-metal all the electrons that it needs. So what will happen is that you will have multiple of one type of atom bonding with another. You can have two metal atoms bonding with one non-metal. You can have three non-metal atoms bonding with two metal atoms. Okay, all different types of combinations. So let's look at this example. We're bonding lithium with oxygen. Okay, so let's look at the lithium first. Lithium will have an EC of 2, 1, and it's going to have 3 protons, 3 electrons, and 7 minus 3, so that's 4 neutrons. Okay, so remember our subatomic particles are just there to help us to figure out the charges. With time and with practice, you guys should be able to figure out your charges on your own. So let's draw our lithium atom. We're going to have our nucleus. For simplicity, I'm just going to start leaving the nucleuses blank. You should not. Okay, so we have our first shell, then we have our valence shell. So our valence shell only has 1 electron, which means lithium only needs to lose 1 electron. Now let's look at oxygen. Oxygen will have an EC of 2, 6. Alright, remember all the numbers in the EC need to add up to the atomic number. So, how many protons? We're going to have 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 16 minus 8, that's 8 neutrons. So let's illustrate the structure for the oxygen atom now. Again, I'm just leaving out the nucleus, leaving the nucleus blank, but you should not leave your nucleus blank. Alright, so first shell, we'll have our 2, and then next shell is going to have 6. Now when this lithium atom right here gives an electron to oxygen, so let's give the electron to oxygen, let's transfer that electron. Oxygen started out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons, and if it gets another one, that means it has 7, or it will have 7. Okay, it still doesn't have a full outer shell. Lithium has lost the electron that it needed to lose, so it will be fine. But oxygen is still not going to be full. So what is going to end up happening is that you're going to need to bond another lithium. You're going to need to find a second lithium atom. Can't be any other element that needs to lose an electron. Has to be another lithium. And that second lithium atom is also going to provide an electron to bond with oxygen. So what you're having happen, or what is happening, is that you have 1, 2 lithiums bonding with 1 oxygen. Now that the 2 lithium atoms have each lost 1 electron, you're going to form 2 lithium ions. And the oxygen has gained the 2 electrons that it needed, so you're also going to have that ion forming right there. So in total, if you were doing this in a test or in an activity, in total you have 1, 2, 3 atoms. That means that when you are drawing your structures, you need to have 3 ions as well. Each atom must form its own corresponding ion. So let's draw some ions now. So we have 1 lithium, another lithium. Lithium had 3 protons and it had 3 electrons and then it lost 1. So now it has 2 electrons. So the charge is going to be positive 1. Likewise, this second lithium also lost 1. So that second lithium is also going to have a positive 1 charge. So let's draw our lithium ions. One lithium ion, two lithium ions. So we have to draw our 2 lithium ions. Next, let's look at the oxygen. Now the oxygen atom here gained an electron from this lithium and it also gained an electron from this lithium. So let's draw the ion that was formed now. For oxygen, we started out with how many protons? Let's check. We had 8 protons and we had 8 electrons. So our protons was 8 and our electrons was 8. But then we gained 2 more electrons. So our protons still 8, but our electrons are now 10. So we have more electrons than protons. We have more negatives than positives. How many more negatives? We have 2 more negatives. So that's why the charge on the oxygen is negative 2. That's why the charge on the ion is negative 2. So let's draw the structure for our ion now. And these are the electrons that oxygen got. And that's our nucleus. Remember, once your bonding has been done, every single element should form an ion. So if you end up using 5 elements during your bonding process, when you're finished drawing your bonding or finished illustrating your bonding, you should have 5 ions. And every single ion should end up with an electronic configuration that is like a noble gas. In other words, when you do your EC, each element should have a full valence shell. Each ion, should have a full valence shell. Let's test your understanding. I want you to try to illustrate the bonding between aluminum and fluorine. And also, I'd love if you guys would try this one, the bonding between sodium and nitrogen. Okay, so try these two questions to test your understanding. If you need to go back to the other videos, no problem. Check out the PowerPoint again as well. Okay, but do try the questions. If you're not understanding, link up